Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. And yes, I have plenty of lighting, and I have plenty of fans. I have two fans on tonight. How you doing in YouTube land? I hope and pray that you and yours are happy and healthy and safe and well. And Durga, thank you for expressing your concern for everybody in YouTube land. So I wanted to do a video, just a quick little video, or a relatively quick video, about some of the Lenormand books that I have been reading lately. So I want to begin with the first one. It's called Lenormand Spreads by Steliana Pujolras. And I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the cover of the back, cover of the book. This book was originally published in French, Édition Post-Scriptum, and it was translated from French to English. Now, as somebody who took 2 years of French in high school, my command of the French language has diminished since my first and second years of high school, actually my second and third years of high school. But I will say that the translation from French to English isn't that good. But this book has some redeeming qualities. First of all, it has a lot of different spreads, not just Le Grand Tableau. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Lenormand, the Grand Tableau is the spread that uses all 36 cards of a Lenormand deck. Most Lenormand decks are traditionally numbered 36, meaning they traditionally have 36 cards. I tend to find myself being drawn much more to expanded Lenormand decks, where they have more than 36 cards. And so that was something that I enjoyed, seeing different kinds of spreads. I also found a section in the back that lists the different cards from Lenormand and their corresponding astrological signs. So for my fellow Capricorn, since my sun sign is Capricorn, we have card 19, the Tower. We have card 23, the Mice. And we also have card 31, the Sun. Since Drake is a sun sign Aries, I'm going to read the cards that correspond to his sun sign. Card 21, the Mountain. Card 24, the Heart. And that's it. And of course, one of my favorite people on planet Earth, the Michelle Swan Graham, Swan of Dreamers on YouTube. I am going to read the cards that correspond to her sun sign, Aquarius. We have card number 5, the Tree. We have, let me read this a little more slowly. We have card number 27, the Letter. And we have card 32, the Moon. Incidentally, I tend to read the Moon card in Lenormand as psychism, goddess energy, intuition, but traditionally, the card in Lenormand that corresponds to the presence of the divine, spiritual energy, intuition, the presence of spirits, that's the Stars card. Anyway, so this is the very first book about Lenormand that I ever read. I love the variety of the spreads. I especially enjoyed reading about the 25 portrayal spread, which according to the author was the preferred spread of Mademoiselle Lenormand. Now, the second book that I read, and I really enjoyed this book very, very much, and it had a much better translation. This one from Portuguese to American English is called The Game of Destiny, Fortune Telling with Lenormand Cards by Mario dos Ventos. And of course, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the cover of the book. This book was actually a gift to me. It was given to me by the priestess of Grove Argentum. I've mentioned in some of my videos that Grove Argentum is a Manhattan-based chapter, or rather a Manhattan/New York City chapter of both the International Fellowship of the Goddess Isis and the Druid clan of Dana. Grove Argentum is something that's been a part of my life for more than a decade, actually. Actually, as an outer court member, it's been a part of my life for about a decade, and as an inner court member, it's been part of my life for a little more than a decade. So I'm really happy to be an initiated companion of Grove Argentum. I really love this book. I love this book for several reasons. Number one, the translation from Portuguese to American English is so much better than the translation from French to English of the first book. Number two, I love the information about Marie Lenormand, Mademoiselle Lenormand. As I mentioned a few moments ago, I did take French in high school, and I've long since known that capital M, lowercase l, e is the abbreviation for mademoiselle, as in an unmarried woman. I would imagine that after a certain chronological age, French women would be referred to as madame, but in every book that I've ever read about Lenormand, I only see the MLLE prior to Marie-Anne's last name. So until I see Madame Lenormand in a book, I'm going to refer to her as Mademoiselle Lenormand. I also loved that each chapter has 2 card combinations. For example, since I'm at card number 15, the bear. The bear brings power, strength, and trust to the consultation, and in most cases symbolizes a male person in the client's life. Now, the bear and card number 1, the cavalier, projects and activities gain stability. The bear and card number 3, the ship, a journey without problems. The bear and card number 5, the tree, steadfastness, also love of nature. So I love the combination of cards and that's really one of my personal favorite sections of this book. One of the other favorite sections, and actually one of my personal favorite sections in this book, and let me get to the right page. Oh, and there is a section on additional combinations and special meanings, but that's not the section that I'm really excited about. Let's see. I'm going to need to go through the book and find it. But since the book was written by a Portuguese man, I especially loved the section that deals with interpretations according to Afro-Brazilian spirituality. And let me see if it's that page. Okay, so this is from other aspects of the work. And I'm going to read this particular section. Okay, so the work with gypsy spirits within Umbanda and Quimbanda is quite old and traditional. It is rare but not uncommon to even see Umbanda centers across Brazil and other Latin American countries being dedicated to various gypsy spirits. I have also seen references to gypsy spirits being employed in other African-based traditions outside of Brazil, namely Caribbean Espiritismo and Brujeria/witchcraft. I even have, according to the author, a Haitian gypsy doll among my personal possessions. Called Povo Cigano. I forgot what Povo means, but in Portuguese, Cigano means male gypsy. Called Povo Cigano amongst followers of Umbanda and Quimbanda, the gypsy people are true travelers, free and cheerful. Their origin is as we believe in India, but within our tradition, we can also see manifestations of these spirits from countries such as Spain, Portugal, Hungary, Morocco, Algeria, Russia, Romania, and Yugoslavia. However, most scholars see the origin of the Gypsy people in the northwest of India. Now, some of this particular section lists the card's meanings, the traditional Lenormand card meanings, from the perspective of Afro-Brazilian magic and spirituality in general, and specifically Umbanda and Quimbanda. For example, card number 9, the flowers, sometimes referred to as the rain. This card is always a positive omen. It speaks of joy, laughter, generosity, and emotional fulfillment. It brings healing to the sick, happiness to lovers, and financial profits to merchants. This card also brings the achievement of possibilities and dreams. The other name for this card, the rain, shows that it indicates spiritual cleansing. Flowers are often used either in spiritual baths or directly on the body to get rid of negative influences and spiritual contaminations. Macumba also associates this card with the forces represented by the Orisha Oshun. Oshun is also known as Oshun or Ochun, and she is the Aphrodite of these pantheons. Oshun, as I mentioned in an earlier video, has been on my mind a lot today. Oshun is the Afro-Caribbean goddess of love, beauty, and sensual pleasures who governs music, dance, beauty, sensuality, sensual pleasures. She is especially fond of gold, of diamonds. Her Catholic syncretism is La Virgen de la Caridad del Cobre, which in English would be Our Lady of Charity of Copper. Cobre is the Spanish word for copper, and in Cuba, Cobre is a copper mining town. I remember years ago reading an article about Oshun online, and the person who wrote the article stated that up until Oshun discovered gold, her metal was copper, but because gold has a higher value and it's even shinier than copper, Oshun gravitated to gold very strongly. Indeed, I am very clear that giving pieces of gold to Oshun is very much in someone's favor. I recently discovered that Australia is going to release these dollar coins, and they're golden, and on the back there's a special inset of a honeycomb, and it has a gradient from yellow to orange. And I would love to get my hands on at least 5 of these Australian coins so that I can give them to Oshun. If I can get my hands on 6, even better, because I can keep one for myself, and I can give the other 5 to Oshun. So I don't know how that's going to happen, but if anybody has any information, let me know. So I really, really dig this, and this really made the book for me even better. I love that the personal notes section has insets that you can copy, and I'm going to have Drake do a close-up of some of these pages. So the Great Spread is more commonly known as Le Grand Tableau. And Drake, if you could stop dropping things while we're doing a video, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. Le Grand Tableau uses all 36 cards of the initial spread, 4 rows of 8, 1 row of 4. There is the name and the date. I would imagine the name would be the person who's receiving the reading, or as I would say, the client. And Drake and Durga, D&D, please stop dropping things while we're recording my video. Thank you so much. 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 Like I was saying, the basic interpretation would be here. I don't know about you, but I think that this is a very short basic interpretation section for Le Grand Tableau. You could make copies of this, by the way. And then we have other spreads. like Le Moreau spread. Moreau was, I believe, Adele Moreau was one of Mademoiselle Lenormand's students. So this was her spread. And again, name, client, date of the casting of the cards, basic interpretation, etc. And there are a few other spreads. There's the 8-card spread, which some people call the box spread. I actually love using the box spread not with the person of the card, which would be either the lady if the client is female or the gentleman if the client is male. I actually like just letting the cards come out as they will. I find that even more telling sometimes when I do readings. And I especially love this section in the back, which has different Lenormand decks through the years. And yes, some of these Lenormand decks, if they're available, will be acquired by yours truly. Now, it just so happens that I did visit the website for Mario dos Ventos on a few occasions, and it's always a dead website. So, to my knowledge, there is no website for Mario dos Ventos. If I find one, I will include it in the description box for this video. And I need to take a quick pause, because there is something in my right eye. All right, so that's actually the second Lenormand book that I read. Now the third one, I've only begun reading a short amount of it. It's called Learning Lenormand, Traditional Fortune Telling for Modern Life by Marcus Katz and Tali Goodwin. And they've written quite a few books about tarot and Lenormand, and they've even co-created a few Lenormand decks. So I'm definitely looking forward to digging in and taking a deeper dive into this book. So I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the cover of this book. I'm really excited about this book, and I'm going to read the back of it because the back of the synopsis of the book is what really drew me into this book. Discover your future in 36 cards. Read the Lenormand cards to answer practical questions about romance, career, money, travel, and important life decisions. With simple instructions for beginning readers, Learning Lenormand teaches easily accessible methods for using this simple 36-card deck. Providing fascinating historical research and proven techniques, renowned instructors Marcus Katz and Tali Goodwin reveal everything you need to know. Card meanings, Le Grand Tableau, accessing your inner Sibyl, sample readings, working with houses, basic layouts, deck recommendations. I'm very excited about that chapter. The significance of facing cards, Lenormand and tarot. Of course, I'm excited about that. Diagonals, reflections, zones, and shadows. With fewer complex symbols than traditional tarot cards, the Lenormand deck is a key that unlocks the secrets of the future and uncovers deep personal insights. Marcus Katz is the co-director of Tarot Professionals Limited. He has studied and taught tarot for 30 years and has delivered more than 10,000 face-to-face readings. More than 10,000 face-to-face readings. That's a big deal. I mean, I don't even think I've exceeded 1,500 readings in my life, face-to-face. So that's a pretty big deal. He lives in the United Kingdom. Visit him online at tarotprofessionals.com. Tali Goodwin is the marketing director and co-founder of Tarot Professionals Limited. She organizes the Tarosophy. She organizes the Tarosophy conferences in the UK and created tarottown.com. She lives in the United Kingdom. Visit her online at tarotprofessionals.com. And of course, it is a Llewellyn book, which you know makes me very happy. And the last book that I am going to read, because I'm curious about the entirety of the Lenormand from this author, Le Petit Jeu Lenormand finally reveals its mystery. It's by Steliana Pujolras. And of course, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, for my YouTube videos, do a close-up of the cover of this book. And I'm going to read the back of this card design. The back of this book's, so I can give you the synopsis. Since the ancient Egyptians, the world has been fascinated by oracles and their predictive power. The Petit Lenormand was, until this day, one of the rarest divination games, yet surrounded by an aureole of mystery, as in aura. Because the key that had to reinstate the meaning of its enigmatic quatrains was never found. All elements agree perfectly, and the puzzle is finally reconstituted. Each card is connected to its vicinity according to a precise position in a table that reproduces the 12 astrological houses. Each card is encrypted with a double key, one that follows the meanders of the philosophical and mystical thought of a great theosophist, and the other that respects the purest tradition of cartomancy. Steliana Pujolras is one of those authors who let glimpse with grace their authenticity throughout their works. While having a degree in history and journalism, as well as the passion to unravel the mysteries, she revisits with insight and talent the universal myths, with the purpose to offer in this book a unique encounter. Even though it will be very challenging for me to read this book, if for no other reason, because the translation from French to American English really isn't that good. And as you can see, same author, and here we have a much thicker book. So I'm going to have Drake do a close-up of the thickness of both books to see as a comparison. So this is the book that I already read. This is the book that I'm going to begin reading after I finish reading the book on Lenormand by Katz and Goodwin. And I am concerned about the larger text because of the not-so-good French to English translation. But I'm committed, so there you go. Besides, it really wouldn't be a 4 books about Lenormand video if I don't read all 4 books. Anyway, so for those of you in YouTube land, let me know which Lenormand books you recommend. Let me know which Lenormand books you've enjoyed the most. Let me know which Lenormand decks you've enjoyed the most. Not that you need to help me find Lenormand decks, because I'm doing a good job finding them on my own, but I can already see myself owning probably just as many Lenormand decks as I would, I thought Durga was somewhere. Just as many Lenormand decks as I do tarot and oracle card decks, but that's not right now. But anyway, so to all of you in YouTube, actually, before I go any further, thank you to all the authors who wrote these beautiful books. Thank you for your wisdom, your insight, your intelligence, your passion for Lenormand, and thank you for helping me be a better Lenormand reader. And of course, thank you to all of you in YouTube land for honoring who I am and what I do, and thank you to all of you in YouTube land for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos and everything he does as well. Thank you so much for all the likes, for all the comments, for all the shares, and for all the subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And of course, an especially big and beautiful and bountiful thank you to all of you who have scheduled your sessions, and for all of you who have bought me a coffee. I wish all of you a beautiful night, a wonderful week, a wonder-filled weekend, an amazingly powerful and pivotal lunar eclipse, or rather full moon / lunar eclipse in Scorpio on Sunday and Monday. And of course, stay tuned for the next video.